Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining this meeting. I'd like to introduce myself first. My name is Retaj al. I'm an international foundation student in Marino from Kuwait. So, how can we save a Newgrange? This is the title for today's presentation. Let's get started. Okay. So, this is the table of contents I'd like to discuss today. Firstly, introduction. So, what is a Newgrange? And I'd like to explain the scenario I got. Then, problem and solution, and evaluating these solutions as well. Then conclusion, and in conclusion, I'd like to focus on the value of Newgrange. And lastly, the poster I made. So, introduction, let's start with this question first. What do you know about Newgrange? If you can participate, please.
I just know that it attracts tourists from all over the world and because of its history.
Thank you very much, Alia. So, what is a Newgrange? It's Ireland's most popular attraction that has three magnificent passage tombs from 3000 BC. Then it was used for funerals, and according to archaeologists, Newgrange tomb was built approximately 3200 BC. So, which makes it more than 1000 years older than Stonehenge in England, and more than 600 years older than Giza pyramids in Egypt. So, my scenario is related to sustainability. So, we were members of the Office of Public Works and we work in the National Monument Services. So, our goal is to make Newgrange as environmentally sustainable as possible and to protect it. So, let's start with problem and solutions. So, we thought of these two main problems. Firstly, human damages, then the weather. So, we have interior damages and tourist behavior related to human damages. And for problem weather, acid rain, temperature, and soil erosions are the sub-problems. Let's start with human damages now. So, damages caused to the interior of Newgrange. The situation is that inside Newgrange is narrow, so a visitor will bend over, which causes to scrap off the inner walls, and that will cause scratch marks, or the stone will flakes off. So the current solution are that there are two lockers for storing tourist personal belongings. As a result, they enter the site bagless to reduce the damage. But the problem is sometimes the lockers are not available to use, which leads to no choice other than tourists having to bring their bags into the site. So, an alternative solution to that is that we want to have a clock room. So, this will implement a system when all visitors come to the first building, whereby they put everything, even jackets, into these clock rooms. Now, focusing on tourist behaviors, the situation is that graffiti can be seen inside the site, and tourists often take pieces of stone from the site as souvenirs. The current solution is that the tour guide will have an eye on tourists and stop any potential damaging behavior once they spot it. But the problem is that graffiti can be done in a very short time. So our solution is that we want tourists, before entering the main building, they have to go for an X-ray screening for security reasons. So, for example, some tourists are using markers or knife to mark their initials as a memory. So this will stop any potential action from them. Then, secondly, let's start with discussing the weather issue. So, temperature inside the tomb. The current solution in summer is the ventilation system. The ventilation system controls the temperature inside the tomb by letting fresh air into it and putting away stale air and moisture. For winter, we have a unique lighting setup. These two mechanisms help to preserve the monument for future generation. However, we need to regularly check up on them and evaluate the airflows. Secondly, for acid rain, it also causes damages to buildings. As you can see in the picture here that we took in the trip, the top of Newgrange is covered by a green roof. This green roof helped to absorb carbon, which helped to neutralize the acid drop. Alternatively, we thought of using waterproof coats to protect the heritage from these water drops. Okay, let's move on to unsolved problem related to weather. Soil erosions. As you can see in these two pictures that we took in the trip as well, the problem is that, as you can see here, the soil and plants on the top of Newgrange are slipping away. So our solution is that we mix the soil with small stones so that that we can help the soil to stay still. Let's move on to the conclusion now. As I said, we're going to focus on the value of Newgrange. So, as we all know, Newgrange provides historic values to Ireland and the whole human civilization. And it shows how the past has evolved and helped us examine history. Also, it helps us to understand and explain why we are and the way we are. So, how to reach our goal? As I mentioned, our goal is to make Newgrange as environmentally sustainable as possible and to protect it. So, we need to concentrate on the site issues and educating visitors about its value to help raise their appreciation and promote responsible behaviors from them. Then, moving on to finance, as a member of OPW, an important part of our responsibilities is to maintain this heritage. Therefore, we will ensure that this will be done with utmost accuracy and without major losses, and that wouldn't happen without the continuous funding from the government, so we can ensure all the expense. Now, I'd like to present this reminder. The best way to preserve our culture is to keep it alive. Okay, now, lastly, the poster. This is the poster we made, and these are all our sources. If you are interested in any link, you can scan this QR code and it will show. Thank you all for listening. Hope you enjoyed, and thank you for participating in this Zoom meeting. I'm here if you have any question.
Yes, I have a question. So, you talked about waterproof coat. How it protect from raindrops?
Okay, so as you can see in this picture, the top is covering with green roofs, as I explained, but the stone aren't covered by anything, so the waterproof coat is just like a clear painting where we cover these stones and protect these stones from the acid rain.
I just want to ask if you had any problems related to your topic and you cancel it.
Okay, so we thought about many other problems, for example, the temperature inside the tomb due to the extreme number of visitors. But when we went to the trip, they already mentioned that um they already mentioned that it's already sold and only 12 people are allowed to visit a Newgrange in one specific time, and there's already a website for that for booking. Okay, so that's the end of the presentation. Thank you very much for joining. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.